My neighbor is a teenager and I can't stand him. Okay, so we bought our house years ago and have never made friends with the neighbors on the one side. I have a son who graduated high school last year and he's just a punk. He says I'm the old grumpy woman. I'm 29. He does stuff to annoy me, like play really music with bass, rev a stupid wood bike, etc. at the worst times, like when I've put my baby down. And he smokes weed, I swear, against the wall, so it wafts over into my lounge. So I have chickens in the rooster. Rooster started crowing at about every morning, which is fine by me since I'm up at 5:30 am. I get sweet satisfaction knowing that as much as he is unpleasant with his music and stuff, I can get in my car and get away from his noise. Little Dumber can't get away from my rooster. Steal my pizza. Disgusting dog water pizza. I used to work at Walmart and well, my shift starts at 2 and ends at 11. My lunch was around 6 or 7. I don't remember. I had ordered a pizza for myself and Rufdo from Domino's. Was when Domino's started that new deal: if you get 60 or so points from ordering online, you get a free one. So I said screw it and got a second pizza free. The 2 pizzas I had, one whole pizza all in all, and was planning to take a slices to work for lunch. After the first day someone stole it. It happened to more times. I have around 4 slices left. I was pretty pissed working the whole time and having to spend extra money for lunch that I didn't want to spend. So before I took in the next slice, messed with it. This time my dog was very sick. So I dipped the slice in her water bowl and let it sit to dry off. All to make it not soggy. Took the slice to work and sure enough it was gone. Days later my company worker who's on my team is sick and threw up. He takes the next few days off from being sick and comes back, complaining it was something he ate. Another company worker asked maybe it was those cold pizzas you ate. I didn't say anything because I knew when he got sick it was him. Fuck you, David. Hilarious little revenge on a university prank. So in my program in university we had labs with drafting tables and cabinets assigned to each student. We also had keys and passes to our studios and we could come and go at all hours to work on our assignments as we pleased. Unfortunately, this meant that we were encouraged to do all-nighters once in a while, and one night when I was instead drafting at home, one of my fellow students decided to hot glue my cabinet shut as a prank. I was pretty annoyed to have to chip the glue out to get at my pencils and erasers and templates out. I swore bitter and sweet revenge. A few months later, my opportunity presented itself. I had to go to the hospital to have hernia tear repaired, motocross accident. I was going to be out of school for a couple of weeks, recuperating. Before my operation, my class gave me a get well card and wished me luck on my convalescence. Little did my prankster know that my brother and his friends were ready to fulfill my revenge on my behalf as I lay innocently in bed, sleeping. I gave my brother the keys to the studio and told him the name of the victim and the location of his work area, and in the middle of the dead of night, they set to work. Brought the finest, hardest setting crazy glue they could find. On the prankster's flattened drafting board, they set the lunch as if Agent had come in during the night and left his lunch on the desk. They glued down a ham sandwich. They glued down a Coke still filled to the top. They glued down carrot sticks and parsley fully arranged and cascading out. They glued down paper lunch bag. And they glued an egg minus a raw egg minus as if it were boiled and ready to eat for lunch, along with glued salt and pepper packets. The piece de resistance was a little cardboard packet of Sun-Made, glued on its side, each spilled resin meticulously cemented in place as if it had just been carelessly knocked over. And then they attached the prankster's comfy shoes to the floor where he had left them as an extra potting gift. Heard from folks later minus and then first hand from the prankster himself at the party minus that he came into the studio, saw the lunch on his desk, exclaimed what the FCK is this, and tried to wipe the food from his board onto the floor with a sweep of his arm. Needless to say, it made for a nice mess, what with the ham sandwich, Coke, and the raw egg. Apparently, he spent the rest of the morning silently cleaning up the mess while probably mentally balancing his past pranks against who could possibly have been motivated enough to do this. Patience is a virtue. Finally, I have a story to tell in this board. And only a few minutes ago. TLE at the bottom. #XP. So there I am, driving home after classes have finished for the night. As I drive through an intersection in a residential area, I notice a parked truck on my side of the road. The way the curb was designed, I can't pass the parked vehicle unless the passing traffic has gone. So I patiently wait as a handful of cars slowly pass by me going in the opposite direction. Apparently, patience wasn't something that was taught to the Jick. From now shall be called Jay. Coming up behind me, Jay honks at me several times and starts flashing his high beams. There's literally nothing I can do as I need to wait for the opposite traffic to go past me. Finally, all the cars have passed and I am able to swing my car around the parked truck closely followed by Jay. PettyRevenge takes place from here. As the neighborhood we are in is residential, the speed limit is 50 kph, and now that I'm pissed off by Jay, I continue down the lane street at 20 kph. Obviously, Jay takes note, and he starts flashing his high beams again. As I approach a four-way stop intersection, I am very deliberate as I slow down my vehicle and come to complete and full stop to make sure there is no other traffic approaching the intersection. Now Jay is pissed, as I gently accelerate back up to the breakneck speed of 0 kph. Jay puts his headlights to full high beams and keeps it there until we approach the next intersection. At the next intersection, I go through my whole routine of stopping, checking and slow acceleration. By this time Jay has had enough. As soon as we are past the intersection, Jay floors the accelerator and flies past me to the next intersection, which is a red light, and I cruise gently up behind. Here we wait for about a minute, all that rushing for nothing. Now at this intersection Jay is planning on turning left, and I will be going straight, so I wanted to make sure Jay knew I was being petty on purpose. As soon as the lights turn green I blast my horn at Jay as he's barely taking his foot off the brakes. It was sweet glory to see Jay look in his rearview mirror at me, and #XP TLER. Impatient driver wants me to hurry things up, so I slow things down for him. Bloody Thursday. This happened 3 years ago. I was 26. I'm a female. I was groped by an entitled 70-something-year-old retired military, old fart, at my bartending job while painting a chalkboard. I took away without thinking. I hit him on the head with the paintbrush I was using to paint and get green paint on his head / few hairs he has left. He actually has the nerve to get mad at me for hitting him and starts screaming. Why did you do that? You're never coming on my boat. WTF is wrong with you? All bartenders in X City love it when I touch them. Of course I said, I don't want to go on your damn boat, which is why I turned down every invite for over a year. Today I saw his car parked right outside my job. I entered the bathroom, pulled out my freshly warm bloody tampon, period day 1, heavy stuff, and tied it to his windshield. I could feel the warmth of the fresh blood through the napkin as I was walking over to his car. Nasty off, but I don't care. I felt fucking great. I asked my coworker to tell MK if she sees him get to his car before I leave. Get a text from her telling me now there. It's not only the bloody tampon on his windshield, but also a parking ticket. Petty off, but made my day. You don't clean just because you cooked. Not my story but my dad's, and apologizes since I am on mobile. Edit. Roommate is now in prison. So my dad used to live in a house with 2 or 3 other people. One of his roommates we will call Richard. Richard had a girlfriend who constantly ate all the food, took long hot showers that would take all the hot water, cooked big meals with her boyfriend. She didn't even live there. The worst thing I heard was that they would have a sort of I cook you clean sort of mentality. Thing was, they never had leftovers, and would use as many pots and pans as humanly possible. My mom and dad, who were dating at the time, would spend the night every 2 weeks doing all of the dishes that would pile close to the height of the cabinets. One day, my dad, having the short temper he has and being tired of doing all the dishes, told his roommate, "You can't just leave the dishes here. Mind my girlfriend are going out to eat. If you don't do them, I won't." My dad went to dinner with my mom, since they always went out to eat, and when they got back there were tons of dishes in the sink. They apparently went to a movie. My dad took all of the dishes, not even bothering to rinse or clean them, put them on his roommate's bed, put on the comforter, and left. That night he heard a loud, "What? H? Dude, I had just said, You cooked. Found out how to shut off my sister's internet access. So my sister and I are both college kids that are home together right now. I live there around the year, and because I stream and enjoy fast Wi-Fi, I pay for the internet monthly and everything is in my name. Got into a fight the other day as I was about to pay my bill. I noticed that I can troubleshoot my device and see anything that is connected to it. Clicked on her phone, laptop, and didn't shut them all off as she was mid-Netflix show. I sent her a text that said, for the next 2 months, don't fuck with me. That's my dryer, old lady. So earlier today I was washing my husband's uniforms. Currently live in an apartment complex that provides a laundromat. Have to pay $1.25 to dry nice scavenge enough quarters, just enough for his laundry. The older lady comes in just as I pulled his cloths out from the washer and head into the dryer. Note, she saw me do this and said nothing. Till I entered in my quarters and started the dryer, she said, "Oh, that dryer doesn't work." Lady told me this morning, but the middle one worked. There was no sign that said anything, so I figured. And sit. Told her, guess I'll have to get more quarters then. Leaving without moving my cloths. Later it came to me. She probably wanted to use my dryer since she saw me throwing in the cloths and didn't say anything till I placed money in the dryer. But she wanted me to pay more and move my cloths. So she used my dryer that I already paid. I waited about 15 minutes and checked to see if the dryer was warm. And she wasn't there. Made sure my hubby's cloths remained untouched and opened her dryer. Then closed so it stopped cycling. She had a blanket in there, so no doubt it wasn't finished. Went back later and collected my hubby's cloths. Happy with myself as I see her walk in. With my head held high, I mentioned the dryer worked. I walked slower to my apartment and looked back. She left without any cloths in hand, and since there's no indicator of what remaining time she had left on her dryer, she probably thought it ran its course since I took my cloths and my dryer was done. We both started around the same time, and now she has to pay more for her things to finish drying. Drive. Old lady tried to cheat me out of my dryer. Opened hers when she wasn't there. Cisco driver blocking cars and gets blocked in the next week. Me and my buddy bowl on league, but in 3 days at lunch we meet up at the bowling alley for a game. Last week a food delivery truck blocked an entire parking lot row from leaving and refused to move his truck. My buddy was late to work. Today he went to the alley to check on getting a damaged ball fixed, and the Cisco guy pulled into the same spot. My buddy pulled directly in front of the truck and parks to go in. Someone else parked behind the truck. My buddy is walking out and the driver asks him if he knows who the car belongs to. He keeps walking and unlocks the car. The driver asked, "Why did you park in front of me?" He said, "You blocked me in last week along with 5 other guys and wouldn't move your truck." "Driver, you don't have to punish all the drivers," he replied. "Now I don't.